the head coach of the Union men's hockey program. Good morning, Coach Bennett. Roger Weiland, how are you?
Good morning, Roger. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. And I guess in the midst of a really good season for you guys so far, right? Let's start there.
Well, the first half was obviously, something that we were, striving for, and it kind of worked out in our favor. These past two games since, but to say we've learned a lot. Well,
you also played the defending national champions, right? Am I correct on that?
Oh, you're correct on that. And we faced a good buzzsaw on that Boston University team and just finished on the wrong end in overtime. But it was a good learning experience.
Yeah, for sure. I saw some of your quotes after the Ashley Miller, Chris Honorato covering for News Channel 13 and your post game after the North Dakota loss, and I think you're putting your team in a little bit in place there after that one. Say maybe we still have a long way to go, not quite as good as maybe we think we are. Is that where you were going with that one?
Yeah, and we didn't play. It's funny when you wake up the next morning and you watch film and you go over it. We didn't play quite as bad as I mentioned, but sometimes I just felt there was a couple areas there that we really needed to shore up, and we since have, but we just haven't seen the results quite yet with that. So sometimes coaches do some different things to get their teams fired up.
There's no doubt about that. I've been around it a long time. It's all good. Hey, listen, what is it about your team this year that you do like, and is a reason or a couple of reasons that you're out to a great start and you do sit in first place right now in the ECAC?
I think there's a few things. First thing is, it starts with leadership, and it's not just one guy. We tried something different this year with a unity group, we call it. It's a group of 5, and so it doesn't put the emphasis on one guy. It's 5 guys that are that have to answer to the coaching staff and they have to answer to their teammates. So I think that's helped from the past. And I just think at certain times, I guess point 2 would be at certain times people have stepped up throughout games to really help us. And then, overall, just the chemistry. The guys really enjoy coming to the rink. Although, so some days when they get skated, I'm not sure they'll say that, but so be it. But I would say those 2 things are the reason for the first half success.
Rick, is this as good an offensive team as you've had in a while?
If I look back, I would probably say the first year's team that I was fortunate enough to coach in my first year was really lucky to have a bunch of individuals that were tremendous hockey players. I would have to say that first Frozen Four team was pretty special, and then obviously the national championship team had some ball players on it too as well. So I think it's too early to say that, but as far as one line that has been dominant, I think there's only really one other line that we had that I think could rival them, and that would have been the Carr, Welsh, and Juris line.
How special is Vecchione and Fu and that line that you're talking about right now?
They're just starting to get back because one of the guys, Sebastian Vidmar, was injured there for 3-4 games, and I think that I'm not going to say threw it off, but I think they're slowly starting to get it back. That they were much better in their second game back, so hopefully that line can get back to it. But on any given shift, they can really create a lot of havoc and put the pressure on the other team, and that's something that we're looking for. But we're also looking for lines 2, 3, and 4 to help them out as well.
And Sakelaropoulos has been rock solid between the pipes. There's no doubt about that. And now, Rick, you're beating the drum, you and Coach Appert this morning for the RPI Union game. Tell me what your thoughts are on the progress that this Mayor's Cup has made over the years. And as I said, it's really the fans turn out. It's produced big crowds.
Well, it's just a fun event, and it's when 2 teams are really competing in a different. I think the stress, it's a different venue, so no one has really the the edge as far as the home team. So it's kind of nice that it's played in a neutral site, a site that really helps the student athletes going forward. I think if you're fortunate enough to get to Lake Placid, or if you're really fortunate enough to play in the NCAA tournament, it kind of gives you that experience, and I think that's huge. And the game is just full of pride and passion, as we've mentioned today, and I just think that's what makes it a fun event.
Well, Rick, keep up the good work. Off to a great start. First half over, second half ready to roll. Harvard, Dartmouth, 30 seconds. What are the matchups like going to be this week for you at Messer Rink?
Dartmouth, you're looking at a team that's really good in transition, so we really have to, our transition to defense has to be spot on. Harvard, you're looking at a team that is, the best team, or top 2 in the country as far as offense. So they got 2 lines that can play with anybody, and that makes them a tough matchup. So, and their power play is absolutely the best I've seen on film. So, again, they present a lot of tough matchups, and we just have to be ready for it.
All right, Coach Bennett, thanks for a few minutes, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thanks for having me, Roger, and go Cowboys.
Dallas fan. There you go, Coach Bennett.